Hey guys, it's Ina here, and I wanted to talk to you today um, a little bit about fragmentation and soul loss and soul retrieval, kind of from a present point of awareness of this time that we're in right now and how all of these things are affecting us. Just from, and this is just my personal interpretation from what I've been experiencing and learning and what I've been seeing in working with clients too. So the reason I'm talking about this is in my Create Your Energetic Roadmap program. We started talking about fragmentation, and one of our participants in it, Lisa, wanted me to expand upon it. So a lot has been coming up around it that I wanted to share. So first, I want to talk a bit about soul loss, because soul loss is something that affects most people, and they don't even realize that they are walking around not fully themselves. And so what happens is when we have some kind of trauma, it can be a physical trauma, it can be like an accident when we're a child, loss of someone that we love, or being in surgery and undergoing anesthesia and coming back out and not feeling quite the same after going through surgery. Or there's so many ways that we can experience like a loss of our soul essence. Part of us leaves when we experience a form of emotional trauma, physical trauma, or even spiritual trauma. So a part of our soul essence leaves the body. Part of us finds shelter or safety or protection through leaving. So this often happens with sexual trauma, physical abuse. So things like when people can't remember a period of their life, or they don't remember ages 3 to 5 or 12 to 14, oftentimes it's because there was some kind of trauma that went on in some way that as a protection mechanism, part of you leaves. So things that you kind of sense soul loss is where you just like, God, I just feel like I don't feel like I'm fully here, or I feel like part of me is missing. That can happen after a breakup or a death, like where some part of you literally leaves with that person. Or just feeling like you're slightly, like you're not in your body. There's so many people, and it's all kind of related to not being fully embodied. And so much of the work that's happening now as we're moving into 5D is becoming fully embodied. And if we have soul separation, if we have soul loss, if we lose part of our essence during a time of trauma, we're not actually fully home. And so all the work that we're trying to heal ourselves and do these techniques, but like nothing's quite landing, nothing's quite sinking, it can often be because not all of you is actually home. And so you're trying to treat symptoms instead of actually bringing all of you home, soul retrieval. And then once you're fully home, everything starts shifting, and then the deeper healing work can begin. But so there are, so I just want to speak a little bit more about that kind of soul loss, because it impacts so many of us. So if you've been like chronically depressed, or like physical, so chronic depression, where you just can't access your joy, you just can't fully feel the aliveness of who you are, and so you're trying to numb or bring yourself up through drugs or stimulants or something, but you just don't ever feel like you're fully here, like you're fully alive. part of what could be going on is some form of loss of soul essence that happened from a childhood trauma, or it can happen multiple times. There are different aspects of you that we start calling back home as we do soul retrieval. And so this is actually the basis of shamanism all over the world, in all cultures. What shamans do is, there's the deep belief in every shamanic society that when someone is experiencing a physical ailment, or depression, or whatever thing is going on, that the shaman is going and retrieving the part of their soul that was lost. They're bringing part of them home. And from that place, like I said, is where the deeper healing begins. So this is ancient stuff. It's ancient stuff. And now we're entering into the fifth dimensionality of it, where we're able to actually retrieve all aspects of our oversoul that have experienced soul loss. That's the world that I've been playing in recently, that I want to talk more about. But first, I just want to say that there's soul loss of soul essence, and then on top of that is fragmentation. It's like being fragmented, like all of you is not here. So there's fragmentation that happens on a soul level from shock and trauma, and fragmentation is happening to us with all of the Wi-Fi and social media and constantly scrolling and being on our phones, and our this world here fragments us. We're in these energy waves, and we're constantly distracted by likes and notifications and pings and email responses. So we're like in a constant reactive mode to outside stimulation, and it's, our brain waves are effective, all of that. I don't need to go into the understanding that Wi-Fi and our connection to computers and cell phones is causing fragmentation and distraction. It's causing distraction in all different areas. So if you're not home in your body, if you're not fully embodied, and if part of your essence is off in other places, and then you're like, oh my God, and Susie, and who's going to respond? I can't believe they said that, and emoji. And you're just like in reaction land. You're not fully here. You're not here. You're not home. And plus, we're so disconnected from nature in general. As a population, we're not outside grounding, connecting into the earth, unplugging. So all of these different aspects are affecting us. And the good thing is that we're all powerful. None of this is like, we're not a victim to any of this. And once you have the awareness of what's going on, and if I'm saying this and it's like you're starting to feel like, oh my God, like I haven't felt at home in my body. I didn't actually feel like I was in my body until I was 27 years old. I grew up feeling, I remember in my adolescence, really feeling like I would look at my body in the mirror, but I didn't get that I was in it at all. And I did so many drugs as a teenager. From like 11 to 15, I did every drug. I was constantly high. I was extremely bulimic, eating disorders. I hated myself. And I was so disembodied. I just felt like my body was this foreign object. And I know a lot of people can relate to that, where it's like there's this body thing, but it's not really you, and you're not in it. You're not fully in it. So it wasn't until I was 27 when I gave birth to my son, Sasha, that actually in the birthing of him, in the pushing him out, part of me fully came home. Is what happened. And I'm kind of realizing this, how like I had lost part of my, and a series of events when I was a child caused that soul loss. So I was completely disembodied, disassociated, and giving birth to him pulled me in. It like pulled me home as a mother, and like the physical pushing out of him, like for the first time in my adult memory, I actually felt like I was in my body. So you don't have to have a baby to come home to your body. You can do a soul retrieval. You can come back home through working with a shaman, through doing energy work. It's what I actually do. Like my like life archetype is a gatherer summoner. I'm a gatherer summoner. I gather summon information from non-physical. I gather together tribes. I gather together people. And I am a gatherer summoner of the fragments of people's souls. So when I work together, I mean, you're doing the work. I'm just, everyone's always healing themselves, but healers are support systems to help you heal yourself, in essence. So when I work with people, I'm able to assist them in pulling all the parts of themselves home, in doing a soul retrieval, bringing them home into their body and into who they are. And it's amazing how in the matter of, a 60-minute session, all of a sudden it's like they open their eyes and it's like, oh my God, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm here. I feel free. I feel like it's me that's occupying my body. Because what can actually happen is sometimes with trauma, you can leave the body and someone else's energy can be in your body too. So you may actually be occupied by other energy that's not yours. There's so much to this subject. Oh my God, there's so much to this subject. So there's the kind of like trauma, physical circumstances. It could have happened like falling off of your bike. You get jolted, you get the wind knocked out of you, and you're in a car accident, and you're just like, you're not quite yourself afterwards. All of those kind of circumstances. So as I'm saying this, maybe some stuff is coming up for you, like memory of, oh yeah, I haven't felt quite the same since that happened, or I haven't even thought of that, or like miscarriage, abortion, all of those things, deep grieving cause part of you to leave, and and you may have had a period in your life where you felt a little lost, and you couldn't like get straight on your path. Things were cloudy, things weren't clear. All of these can be the symptoms, essentially, of losing part of your soul essence. So anyway, so there's soul loss, and then so fragmentation. So on a daily basis, we can become very fragmented. We can become distracted by being out in the world. And if we're energy sensitive, if we don't have strong spiritual hygiene, if we're not pulling our energy in, all of us, into our body, if we're not fully embodied and we're out in the world bumping into people, we can take on other people's energy, and then we're not fully embodied, and then you're taking in other people's energy, and then it's just like this like cocktail of energy that's going on inside you that is causing you to not be able to like fully focus, fully line up, fully be like in your power, in your essence, in your laughter, in your play, in your aliveness. If you're fully home, you're like alive, energy's flowing through you, and you feel, you're in your body, you can feel your body, you can tell what's going on in your body. So that fragmentation can happen on a daily basis, and that's why when people who have worked with me know that I often talk about, like, when you go to sleep at night, to release everybody else's energy from your body, release everybody else's energy that is not yours, and to do a body scan so you can feel in your body, is this mine, is it not mine, so that you're going to bed each night fully you and yourself, releasing everybody else's energy and pulling all of you in. Then you call it all in, all the parts of you, all the fragments of you that got jolted during everyday modern life. So there's so much more to that, but I just want to speak to kind of like the daily fragmenting that happens. And when we have practices that pull us in, like Epsom salt baths and grounding, walking barefoot on the earth, getting outside in nature. And with each foot as you're walking, you know, I walk barefoot as much as I possibly can in nature. I just love like my feet on the ground, like all my toes out, and grounding into the earth. With each step, I feel the energy of me like coursing through me and coursing from the bottoms of my feet into the center of the earth, and just like drawing that energy and building that energy with each step. Or you can just stand in mountain pose and feel that energy too. So there's grounding, Epsom salt baths to, you know, the salt to release other people's energy, and you do it all with intention. You know, you're always focusing and intending and releasing. So there's that aspect of fragmentation. And then I just want to talk a bit about soul retrieval, from not only this lifetime, but from other lifetimes, because that's been kind of a fun place that I've been playing in these past few weeks. And so, you know, we're at this heightened time, the veil is getting thinner, we're in the space of interdimensionality where we're able to access more of the different aspects of our oversoul, the different aspects of us, and from multiple lifetimes. And oftentimes another lifetime will come in that is giving kind of parallel information to what you're trying to heal or work through now. Because in general, our soul, our oversoul, kind of, we all have a general, at least in my understanding, my belief system, that our and take of this whatever resonates with you, whatever doesn't. But in kind of the general things that I see are that people have a kind of like a general soul arc of themes that they kind of live through multiple lifetimes, living it out in different ways. And so, like when I work with clients, you know, different lifetimes can come in that are that have parallel information and healing that's simultaneously happening, because there is no time, it's all happening now. Where we can go in and heal what's happening in another lifetime as it's simultaneously healing and bringing understanding to what's going on in this lifetime. So a couple weeks ago, I had a session with a dear friend of mine, Teresa, where she helped me tap into a past life that I had in St. Lucia, and as a slave trader, and I was in it from a feeling of indebtedness, like I was stuck in it. I didn't want to be in it, but like if I wasn't doing that, my family would be killed, kind of thing. So like the whole time I was doing this, everything felt awful in me. And she said that when I died, like I died with guilt in my body. Like I didn't die at peace because I was carrying the weight of this. And so then I just got back from Tulum, from the Yucatan, doing an amazing retreat down there with some incredible women. And a lot of the soul retrieval stuff was happening there at our retreat, the work that I was doing with women. And right before the retreat, I did a full soul retrieval of realizing, oh my goodness, okay, that aspect of me in that life actually was an untransitioned soul. That part of my soul hadn't fully transitioned, and I was still holding the guilt and hadn't really actually completed all of that. And it has like a parallel thing that's going on for me in this lifetime with indebtedness and the feeling of, owing and servitude and all of that. And so I went in and did a healing of transitioning that part of my soul and releasing the guilt and the shame from the physical body and from that aspect of my soul. And it was like a whole healing. And so I went in and started going through like the bringing all aspects of all of my lifetimes home. Like I was doing oversoul retrievals, oversoul retrievals, so that all, I sort of see like the oversoul is like the hub and all the different lives, like an octopus, coming off of it. And so I'm starting to do these oversoul retrievals of bringing all aspects of me home in all lifetimes, and like releasing and clearing all of that stuff that is now just like lining everything up. Like I'm more alive and at home and at peace than I've ever been in my entire life. It's just like all of me is here, all of me is here. At least as much of me that can fit in this physical body. So anyway, yeah, in Tulum, working with recent clients, like it's just been amazing to do soul retrievals from other lifetimes, bringing souls home, souls that left the body, jumped out of the body before death, and never fully landed in this body in this lifetime because it was not safe to be in the physical body. So there's a lot there, and I guess I just wanted to share all of this because I'm kind of blown away by when we're working at this level, at this time when everything's speeding up and clearing so quickly. It's just an amazing time for deep healing and deep alchemy. Everything's coming up and out so much more easily. That by using these techniques with people to help bring them home, it's like I'm just watching people pop. I'm watching people just like release, an entire lifetime of physical symptoms or of family stuff. It's like, and they're home, home in their body for the first time. It's like amazing to witness someone fully coming home, because then you can actually relax and your body's safe to be in. It's like safe to be in your body. A lot of people are walking around not even realizing that their body has been tense their whole life, or they haven't felt fully safe to come home to the body because of whatever trauma happened. So anyway, I hope this helps. It's just my experience of what's been unfolding for me in my work lately. And if you want to go deeper with me, just connect in with me, because this work is really, it blows my mind how profound this stuff is and how quickly healings can happen when we go to this kind of root core level. All right, I hope that helps. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Bye.